right, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Under a week now until the transfer window closes. 6 p.m. on Monday the 31st. The window closes, and we all know what we need right now. We need a striker. I know midfielders, we've been talking about that as well, but you know what? The month of January's gone now. Next game, Partey will be back. Xhaka will be, he forgot him. Xhaka will be back. El Neni might even be back. So all of a sudden, the midfield crisis that we've been having would be eased a bit. So those players will be back. But however, we are still light in the striking department. I was looking at it the other day. We haven't now scored in 4 consecutive games. That's the first time since 2005 that Arsenal, always been a team that's known for goals, hasn't scored 4 consecutive games. Only 1 goal in the whole of January. Absolutely awful in front of goal. And it's cost us. Cost us against Nottingham Forest. Cost us against Burnley. Cost us against Liverpool. We're not scoring goals. And it's a big problem. And a big problem that Mikel Arteta has to solve. And it's quite significant that yesterday Mikel Arteta pictured over in Denver, Colorado, with the owner of the club, Stan Kroenke, watching the Colorado Rapids play. He's over there at the moment with Stan Kroenke. Obviously, he's probably in his ear saying, Stan, we need money, man. We need money. Let's get the money together. Or were they discussing this new contract that we've been hearing about as well? This new proposed 2-year contract for Mikel Arteta. That's another matter. Right now, we need a striker. Can it be Vlahovic? This is starting to get more and more complicated. We see yesterday that Juventus are now in talks with Vlahovic, which of course we all know that is his preferred destination. That is where he would love to go and play. Juventus, they're guaranteed, well, they're not actually, but more or less most seasons they get Champions League football. He'll be the main man at Italy's #1 club. And he's been playing in Italy, and he obviously loves it over there in Italy. And we're being told that Juventus are willing to or getting a deal together to meet his valuation, and Fiorentina will accept it. They will accept any big offer. They've said, they've come out and said, listen, we've had a couple of big offers this January, but we haven't heard from the player and the player's agents. They want to accept this offer. They know that he's only got 18 months left on his contract. Come the end of the season, he won't be worth as much as that. He'd be worth less. So they want to cash in and get as much money as they possibly can out of the Dusan Vlahovic deal as soon as they possibly can. And it's starting to look less and less likely, if Juventus are seriously in, that Arsenal are going to have a chance of signing him. And this is bad news for Arsenal. So will they turn their attentions to other players? One that's been talked about today is Luka Jović. Spoken about him before on the show. Real Madrid player. And it's just not worked out for him at Real Madrid. He's only scored 1 goal this season. I know he's not a regular starter, but only 1 goal this season for Luka Jović, which I think he's had about, I was looking at my notes earlier. It had about 15 starts or 15 appearances, only 1 goal. Last year, he went out on loan to Eintracht Frankfurt, the club where he made his name. He only scored about 4 goals. Previous to that, at Real Madrid, it's been a disaster as well. That is the player, apparently, that Arsenal possibly looking at. Now, when you're thinking that we need a prolific goal scorer, is Jović the guy? I mean, at the time when he was playing over in the Bundesliga, he was hot. They paid 60 million euros for him, Real Madrid, but it's just not worked out for him. You can look at this 2 ways. You try and get him in on loan and he hits a hot streak. It's great for the player. It's great for Arsenal. And his goals far us through to the Champions League, or it's a massive gamble. You're going to get a player that just not scored goals for the past few seasons. So it's a massive gamble. So Jović apparently is being considered. And then the other thing is, would Real Madrid really let him go out on loan right now? Because they've got a problem at the moment. Benzema came off of their game at the weekend with what looked like a hamstring injury. That means that he's going to be out for a few games. And Jovic is, one of two backup strikers. And when Benzema's been previously out, it has been Jovic who's been the player who's been, told to step in. So I think the likelihood of him even going out on loan now with that injury to Benzema is probably slim anyway. But he is being considered apparently by Arsenal as one of those alternatives. They're also looking at another player in La Liga, and that's this guy, Raúl de Tomás. He's 27, plays in Spain with Espanyol, and he's been having a very good season. 12 goals in 21 games he scored. I think only second to Benzema this season in a very, struggling side in Espanyol, a team that at the moment battling against relegation. But he's had a good goal scoring record, 27, as I said. So he's not the youngest. He's said to have a release clause of around about 70 million euros. And again, talked about today as an alternative that Arsenal could be looking at. Again, I look on it and I think the only way I possibly could see Arsenal trying to get a player like that would be a loan move. I couldn't see them going in and stop. Well, they certainly wouldn't stomp up that release clause. And I don't think, Espanyol would be daft enough to think anyone's going to fork up that release clause, the position that they're in at the moment. But the only way I could see Arsenal going in for a player like that, despite what the rumours are saying, would be maybe possibly a loan move. And are Espanyol going to loan a player like that when they're battling against relegation? Are they even going to sell a player like that? The position that they're in. I really don't see that one happening again. But again, flying around today about Raúl de Tomás. What about, of course, Alexander Isak? He's available. It will be more than that reported fee on there. That's for sure. That's according to Transfer Market. But he said as well to have some whopping release clause. Rumours it could be anything from 70 to 75 million pounds. 8 goals this season in 25 appearances. Is a good striker. Maybe not as prolific, but is a good striker. And then, we look at, I was thinking about this the other day. You look on it and say, all right, maybe he's not as prolific as Vlahovic, but he doesn't take a lot of penalties, Isak, in comparison to, say, a Vlahovic. And then as well, I look on it and I say to myself, well, if you was a Liverpool fan when they were getting in Mo Salah, you wouldn't have said he was prolific either, would you? And you wouldn't have said Mane were prolific. You would have said good forward players with a lot of potential. And that's what Isak is. He's a very good forward player with a lot of potential. Who knows? He could come to the Premier League and really light it up. Meet up again with Martin Odegaard. Remember, Martin Odegaard was at Real Sociedad with him, and they struck up a really, really good partnership. And that's what's been his most prolific season so far, Isak. So, reigniting that partnership again as Isak and Odegaard might be a good thing. So he might be a good alternative to Vlahovic if the Vlahovic deal becomes an almost impossible deal to be done. Because listen, Arsenal are pushing for Vlahovic, but if they can't get him, they have to go and get someone else. You can't strong arm the guy. If he doesn't want to come, we have to get somebody else. So Isak is a good alternative, but again, another one that's very difficult to get done this January transfer window. It might be more of a summer move. And then, of course, with all of those alternatives we're talking about, we still got this guy, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Interesting. I saw the video yesterday of Emmanuel Adebayor talking about Aubameyang, and he was saying that Arsenal are doing it again, treating a player badly, and he was referring to himself that they treated him badly. He was saying it's not surprised to what he's seen happening here, and really sort of showing a lot of support for Aubameyang, but complaining about how Arsenal have treated players. And funny enough, the Adebayor thing, I've spoken to his agent before, and his agent's always said to me that Adebayor wanted to stay at Arsenal. It was actually Arsenal who forced him out. And, that move that he did when he ended up going to Man City and the famous knee slide and stuff like that. But it was actually Arsenal who forced him out. He didn't actually want to go. That's what the agent told me. But with the Aubameyang thing, what is going to happen? We know that this team in Saudi Arabia, Al Nassr, they're interested. they're willing to stomp up the money for his wages. But Aubameyang is said to not really be interested in going to Saudi Arabia. He would prefer to stay in Europe. And there's a lot of clubs after him. You know, or a lot of clubs have made inquiries about him, should I say. Sevilla have made an inquiry. AC Milan, PSG, some big teams have made inquiries about him. Nobody's come in concrete yet. The only club that's come in concrete so far has been Al Nassr from Saudi Arabia. But inquiries have been made about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and could he be on his way out come the end of this transfer window? Should he be on his way out? You know, when we're looking at some of the strikers that are there, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Is it time to, you know, Mikel Arteta to do a U-turn and, you know, go and sit down with Aubameyang? Could this be why he's over there speaking to Stan Kroenke? Because there have been rumours that Arteta's wanted to get him back in the fold, but the decisions come from high above saying to leave him out. I really don't know. But at the moment, it's a situation that we've got this striker on mega wages. We either got to get him away somewhere this January and bring somebody else in, or we've got to try and sit down with him and work this out and try and get him back into the team, because certainly at the moment, we are lacking goals big time and we need to score more goals. So it's still intriguing. There's still days to go. There's still time left for Arsenal to get the business done. Let's see what happens. But we need a striker. Thanks for watching the show today. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV, like this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow with another transfer.